Okay, guys. I'm gonna be totally and completely honest. I'm so sore. I took 1 week off, and now I'm like shaking every time I try to sit down. My back is fried, so I thought, what better day to introduce our yoga focus days than today? Um, don't let that fool you, though. The yoga days can kind of sneak up on you. Stretching is still difficult. The movements in yoga are still very difficult. What this means is we're just going to be focusing more on a flow base. So everybody's favorite words, baby pulses, will occur less frequently in these types of classes. I know everybody's heartbroken. Me too. But we're still focusing on that like mind to muscle connection with these movements. We want to make sure we're engaging the proper muscles as we're moving through flows, keeping that pressure off of joints so we're not feeling sore in all of the wrong ways tomorrow. Yes, there's a wrong way to feel sore and a right way to feel sore. We just want to prevent any injuries that could be occurring. With that being said, if there are any movements at all throughout this workout, make sure you're pushing back, taking your own modifications, go into that child's pose, taking your breaks as you need them. If you would like a modification, feel free to ask me. I promise I don't bite. But we're just trying to make sure we're taking our time to breathe in between those movements and really focusing on that stretch, on that breath, mind, muscle connection, and all of that fun stuff. We will be using the blocks today, but the blocks are more so for balance. As we stretch through things, trying to stay stable, we're not trying to rock back and forth. Everybody at home, if you do not have a block and you would like to have more balance support, feel free to grab a chair, a stool, literally anything that you can just lean on and you know that's going to keep you stable. I'm going to throw you for a loop. Today we're going to be starting in that seated position. Crisscross, applesauce. Guess I'll face you guys, don't worry. We're going to take our time here just to get adjusted with our breathing. Feel free to put your palms on your thighs, facing the ceiling, closing your eyes, sitting up straight, becoming more aware of your breathing. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Taking that full body scan, you might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your seat bones pressed into the mat. If you'd like to add a little bit of flow or movement here, feel free to rock your neck, stretching it out, finding a point of tension, stretching it until release. Taking those deep belly breaths, expanding through your stomach like it's a balloon. As you inhale, taking that deep breath in, you should feel slight friction through the back of your throat. Sealing your lips. Breathing through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Taking one more deep breath in, reaching our arms up into the sky, finding length through your fingertips. Feel free to take little side bends here, stretching out both left and right side body, still staying straight and upright. One more deep breath in. On that exhale, we're twisting to the left. Bring our left arm behind us. We're still reaching through the fingertips, staying lifted through your chest. You should feel like there's a string attached to the top of your head and somebody's pulling you upright. Focusing on that posture. One more deep breath in, really trying to stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, we're releasing back to center. Getting a nice stretch, length through those fingertips and twisting to the right. Reaching through those fingertips, trying to find a twist through your spine. Looking for length on that inhale. Deepening that stretch through your exhale. One more deep breath in. Really finding that stretch here. Exhale, coming back up to center. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna interlace our hands in front of us and lift up through our elbows. Try not to shrug our shoulders. You should be feeling this in your mid-back and a little bit underneath both of your shoulders. If you're looking to increase that intensity, try to rise your elbows up a little bit higher. You might feel it a bit more through your pecs. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're reaching around with the other hand now. Still doing that twist, lifting your elbows up. Slowly looking for that height on that inhale. And as you exhale, you're deepening into this stretch here. Still try not to shrug your shoulders. Feeling this through both of your traps. Taking one more deep breath in. On your next exhale, you're sending your left arm back, resting on that forearm. If you need more support here, feel free to rest on that block. You're just reaching over with your right hand. Still trying to keep that shoulder lifted up. If you can't reach your forearm all the way to the ground, feel free to keep that straight and slowly work towards finding more depth. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're coming back up and into center, leaning down with our right hand. Stretching through that shoulder, keeping your chest lifted. Try not to hollow out in front of you, staying engaged through your core. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're pushing back up into center, taking your hands like claws, putting them onto your shoulders, circling out your elbows, bringing them in front of you. Nice big circle. Try keeping this a little bit slower, looking for activation throughout your entire shoulder, the back of your traps, staying lifted through your core and your lower back. Think about all of the muscles that you're using right now. And circling backward, lifting up in front of you and reaching behind. Still thinking about the order of muscles you're using. Did it change? Deep breath in, still staying strong through the core. Exhale, lowering all the way down. We're going to twist onto our knees into that tabletop position. Keeping our shoulders stacked over our wrists, hips stacked over our knees. Staying engaged through the core. We're just going to do a couple cat-cows, breathing up, arching that spine, lifting your chest to the ceiling. Deep breath in, expanding through the stomach, holding at the top. Exhale, squeezing your core, rounding out that back, pushing through the heels of your palms. Deep breath in, expanding through your stomach, lifting through your chest. Hold at the top. Exhale, squeezing that core, curling your stomach. One more time, deep breath in, lifting your chest to the ceiling. Holding at the top. Exhale, squeezing your core, rounding out your back. Feel free to take a little bit of a rock here, circling your spine, warming up your shoulders. And when you're ready, we're going to grab one of those blocks, placing it under our right hand. A little bit of shoulder work here. It was requested to do more arms. We're going to lift, pushing through our tricep and our bicep of our right arm until that left hand is even with our right. We're still going to lower back down. Using your breath with every movement, squeezing through your core. Make sure you're tightening your core before you lift your hand. Still trying to push through the heel of your right palm, engaging that tricep and your right pec. You might even try pushing through your pointer finger and your middle finger as well. Making sure we're still breathing. Deep breath in. One more time, we're lifting that left hand up, reaching to the ceiling. Deep breath in. Hold at the top. Exhale, lowering down. Deep breath in, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, lowering down. As you inhale, you're really reaching through your fingertips, trying to extend at the top as you hold your breath, feeling that through your shoulder. Still pushing through your right palm, feeling that in your bicep, your tricep. For one more time, we're reaching up, really extending here. Exhale, lowering that hand directly in front of you. Deep breath in, we're swooping around the back and coming back to the front. Reaching in front of you through your fingertips, sweeping that arm around, resting it on your back. Or two more. Getting that shoulder mobility. And last one. We're going to transition into bird dogs. Feel free to keep that block underneath of you if you'd like to keep it more even, putting that block under your left knee as well. Or you have the option to kick that block out from underneath of you and do it on the ground. We're just going to reach that left hand up, kick that right leg back. Deep breath in, straight line from the tips of your fingers, top of your head, hips to toes. And on that exhale, we're bringing our knee to our elbow, still pushing through the heel of your right palm, squeezing that core, utilizing your glute. The only thing that should be moving is your left arm and your right leg. Remembering to breathe. Promise these get easier towards the end. For two more. And last one. Lowering all the way down. Coming all the way back to tabletop position. We're pushing through the heel of both hands, curling our toes underneath. We're just going to lift those knees off of the mat, lowering them back down. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but this definitely sneaks up on you. You'll feel it in your thighs in a little bit. Don't worry. Squeezing your core as you lift. For one more. Stepping your feet back, coming all the way into a high plank. Your palms should still be directly under your shoulders. We're going to lower our knees to the floor. We're just going to extend, alternating one at a time, finding that hip mobility. Squeezing our core. Staying strong through your triceps. If you find that you're a little shaky here, that's okay. Doing this one more time. Exhale, lowering all the way down to your stomach. Taking a deep breath in here, pushing through your fingertips, coming up, finding that baby cobra. Option to look over each shoulder. One more deep breath in. And on that exhale, we're pushing ourselves back up, finding that child's pose. Giving your arms a little break. We're going to walk all the way to the left here. Finding a nice stretch through your right side body. Taking one deep breath in. Trying to walk your fingertips a little bit further. On that exhale, you're trying to drop that shoulder a little bit further to the ground. Walking our hands back to center. We're going to step them all the way to the right, looking for a stretch through that left side body. Again, walking our fingertips just a little bit further on that inhale. Slowly trying to drop that shoulder on your exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're walking back to center, coming back into that tabletop position. And do the same thing on the other side now, placing that block under your left hand, still pushing through that heel, your bicep and your tricep, just until that right hand is even with the top of your block. Lowering back down, push, and lower, squeezing your core. Every time you lift that hand, your core should be engaged the whole time here, squeezing through your glutes. For 2 more. And last one. This time we're going to lift that hand up. We're reaching all the way to the ceiling, finding length through those fingertips. Exhale, lowering all the way back down. Inhale, lift, looking for length. Trying to expand through those shoulders, open up your chest. Exhale, lowering all the way back down. Inhale, lift. Squeezing that core. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Length through those fingertips. Exhale, we're bringing that hand all the way in front of us. Deep breath in, looping around. And bringing it back. Still pushing through the heel of that left palm. Making sure our bicep and our tricep is still engaged. Finding a little bit more mobility through our right shoulder. For 2 more. And last one. And wrapping it all the way around, really deepening that stretch. On your exhale, feel free to keep that block, placing the other one under your knee, or you can kick it out of the way as we transition into bird dogs. We're going to kick that right arm up, that left leg back, still making that straight line, tips of your toes, tops of your fingers, top of your head and your hips. Deep breath in, finding that length. Exhale, bringing elbow to knee. Squeezing your glute, squeezing your core. Quality over quantity here, making sure all of your muscles are engaged. Deep breath in. For 2 more. Exhale, we're lowering that hand all the way back down to the ground. Doing those little tabletop lifts one more time, curling our toes underneath, keeping those shoulders over our palms, lifting those legs up and lowering. Keeping that core engaged, pressing through your toes. For 1 more. This time we're going to push all the way up, sending our ribs into the tops of our thighs, finding that downward facing dog, pedaling out our feet, slowly working towards getting both heels on the ground. Taking one more deep breath in, On that exhale, we're shooting that left leg up, toes pointing to the ceiling. You can stay here in three-legged dog, but if you'd like to increase the intensity, option to bend that knee, twist your hips to the wall to your left. Squeezing that core, pushing through the heels of your palms, bracing through your back. One more deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're bringing that foot to the outside of our left hand, finding that high lunge, still keeping our right hand pressed into the floor. Feel free to take your knee to the ground if that's more comfortable. We're pushing that left knee out, slowly allowing our hips to sink further into the floor. Deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're walking that foot to the center of our mat. Entering a bit of a flow, feel free to grab both blocks if you need more support. Straightening that front leg out. Finding a stretch through the back of that calf. If you're looking for more of a calf stretch here, lifting your toes all the way up to the ceiling. If you want more of a hamstring focus, feel free to leave that foot all the way on the ground. Another deep breath in. We're going to rebend that knee, trying to sink our hips a little bit further to the floor. Exhale, straightening that front leg. Speeding this up just a little bit more. Rebend that knee. Exhale, straighten. Rebend that knee. Sinking those hips a little bit further. Exhale, straighten. Rebending that knee. Exhale, straighten. One more time, rebending that knee. Option to leave that back leg on the ground, but if you'd like to increase the intensity, come all the way up into that high lunge. If you remember from last class, or if you're new, today we're just going to do that opening of the door, pressing through all four corners of that front foot, keeping that balance exercise here. Remembering to breathe. Finding strength through that front leg. One more time. Really looking for length. Exhale, we're sending that hand back into our back pocket, reaching up and over. Taking a deep breath in, focusing on that stretch. One more deep breath in, length through those fingertips. Exhale, coming back up into center, stepping that leg back. Finding that standing position, length through our fingertips. Exhale, folding into a forward fold. Bending those knees. Waking up our legs. One big deep breath in. We're going to grab our blocks here for a bit of support. If you're at home, you might want to grab a chair for this one. We're going to take that left leg. We're just going to pulse it up into a modified warrior 3. Lowering it back down, engaging our glutes. Lift and lower. If you feel like you're at a level where you don't need the blocks, you can go ahead and lift your hands up. Me, personally, not at that level. Just remembering to breathe. One more deep breath in. Lifting for the last time. Exhale, lowering that foot. Rolling our spine all the way back up to standing. From here, feel free to take those hands, lower them to prayer, lifting up with your left leg, pushing through all four corners of your right foot. Option to stay here in tree pose, but if you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to wrap that foot over top of your right thigh, slowly lowering down into a standing figure 4. Pushing through all four corners of that foot. If you're at home and you'd like to do a standing figure 4, feel free to grab onto that chair, use it for a bit more balance, or a wall. Taking one more deep breath in. Exhale, we're lifting all the way back up to standing, lowering that foot, making sure we don't fall, stepping our feet to the outsides of our mat. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're lowering all the way down to that squat position. Holding here for a good 10 seconds. Letting those muscles get a little bit tired. Option to pulse if that feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, we're just going to alternate those heel lifts, adding in that pulse. Taking those breaths. Making your breath work for you. Ten more seconds. Squeezing those glutes. Not rounding out that lower back. Deep breath in, raising all the way up to the top. Length through our fingertips. Still keeping our feet on the outside of our mat. We're going to fold forward here. Feel free to grab those blocks if you can't reach the ground. That's okay. But from here, we're going to plant one hand on the block and lift up through the other, reaching to the ceiling. Taking those deep breaths. Length through our fingertips. Exhale, lowering the hand all the way back down to the block. Bending our knees, coming all the way down to a yogi squat. Remember, if you're having any issues here, feel free to fall forward onto your palms. Slowly work towards getting both heels on the ground. Or option to put that block underneath of you. Still trying to stay upright through that chest. Using our hips, squeezing our glutes. One more deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're lowering our hands down to the ground, stepping our feet back, finding that high plank, keeping our elbows tucked close into our chest. We're going to lower our knees down to the ground, slowly lower all the way to our stomach, pushing through the heels of our palms, pushing through your fingertips. You're going to gently raise yourself up, finding that baby cobra. Deep breath in. Option to look over each shoulder if you find that comforting. When you're ready, we're pushing ourselves up, finding that tabletop position. Deep breath in. Placing our hands directly under our shoulders. Hips should be stacked over our knees. Curling those toes underneath. Pushing through the heels of our palms. We're back into that downward dog. Pedaling out our feet. Working towards getting both heels on the ground. One more deep breath in. And on that exhale, we're kicking that right foot back. Toes pointed to the sky. Option to bend that knee and tilt those hips to the wall to your right. Trying to keep those shoulders parallel to the ground underneath of you. One more deep breath in. And on that next exhale, we're stepping that foot to the outside of our right hand. Option to lower all the way down to that knee and pushing our knee outward. Remembering our breath. Slowly allowing your hips to sink further to the floor. On your next exhale, You're walking your foot to the center of your mat. If you'd like, feel free to grab both of those blocks here and straighten out that knee. If you're looking for more of a calf stretch, feel free to lift those toes up to the ceiling. Holding here for one more deep breath in. On that next exhale, rebending that knee, trying to sink your hips a little bit further to the floor. Deep breath in, straighten. Hold. Exhale, rebend, picking up that pace. Straighten. And bend. Looking to increase that depth every time. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for you and your breath. This time as we rebend, feel free to rise all the way up into that high lunge. Taking those deep breaths, reaching our hands in front of us. We're just going to open and close that gate. One more time. Pushing through all four corners of that front leg. Trying to keep that knee stacked over our ankle. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're sending that hand back into our pocket, reaching over with that left arm. Deep breath in. Squeezing your legs. Exhale, we're coming all the way back to standing, reaching with those hands. Length through our fingertips. Exhale, falling forward, finding that forward fold. Grabbing our blocks again, placing them in front of us, getting ready for that modified warrior 3, sending that right leg back and lowering down, squeezing through your glutes, lifting through your core. Bracing through all four corners of your left foot. For 2 more. Really squeezing at the top. Last one, lowering that foot all the way down. Deep breath in, rolling our spine, coming back up to standing. Lowering your hands down to prayer. Go ahead and lift that right foot up, pressing through all four corners of your left. Feel free to stay here in tree. Option to hook that foot over top of your left thigh, slowly lowering down, finding your figure 4. If you need more support and you'd like to do a figure 4, feel free to grab a wall. If you're at home, grab a chair. Looking to increase that stretch for your hip. Remembering to breathe. Exhale, we're all the way back up in standing, lowering that foot, stepping to the outside of our mat. Slowly lowering down, finding that low squat. Holding here. 5 more seconds, waking up our legs. We're back into that alternated heel raise. Squeezing our glutes the whole time. Lifting with our calf. For about 10 more seconds. One more deep breath in. Coming all the way back up to standing. Folding into that fold. Find those blocks underneath of you if you need more support and height. Reaching that opposite arm all the way up. Finding that twist. Taking those deep breaths. Looking for length through those fingertips. On that exhale, we're lowering our hand all the way back down to the block. Bending our knees, sinking into that yogi squat. Staying lifted through our chest, tilting that pelvic floor up and in, squeezing through your glutes. Feel free to rock your hips here if you're looking to increase your mobility. One more deep breath in. We're lowering all the way down to our glutes. Still trying to keep your feet in front of you, pointing straight. This next stretch can be kind of confusing, but we're going to take both knees and twist them to the left. Fold forward slightly, finding that stretch through your hips, coming back up to center, and twisting your knees in the opposite direction. Feel free to do this at your own pace with your breath, finding a stretch that works for you. Go ahead and do one more. Trying to increase that stretch. Coming back up into center, still keeping our toes pointed in front of us. Feel free to stay here and do your hundreds, but you're still trying to lift that chest up, tilting that pelvic floor up and in. If you'd like to increase the intensity, lifting both feet off of the ground, and we're waving our arms in front. Keeping our core squeezed the whole time. If you'd like to add another element of intensity, you can place a block between both of your thighs. 5 more seconds. And we're lowering your feet all the way down, grabbing onto one of those blocks. They're going to be your new best friend. Rolling all the way down to your back, one block over your shins, extending yourself all the way out flat, and bringing that block back up to your hands, grabbing it, extending it over your head. Squeezing your core the whole time, making sure there's no space between your lower back and the floor. Go ahead and do about 2 more. Slow and in control. Last one. When you're ready, go ahead and drop that block to your side, lifting up your right leg fully, bringing your fingertips to your temples. We're going to do a single leg bicycle crunch, lifting that opposite elbow, opposite knee, and lowering down. Keeping that right leg lifted, extending out your left. For 2 more. And last one, lifting both of your feet into the air, tucking your chin up, moving straight into flutters, lowering your legs down, and lifting them back up. Still trying to keep that connection between your lower back and the ground. Ten more seconds. Deep breath in, lifting that left leg all the way up to the sky, lowering your right, doing single leg bicycle crunches on the other side, opposite elbow, opposite knee. Keeping your core engaged the whole time. Two more. Last one, transitioning into full bicycle crunches. Almost done. Keeping that core engaged. Taking those deep breaths. 15 more seconds. Remembering to breathe. Lowering those legs all the way down. Go ahead and give your knees a squeeze. Promise I'm done with core. It was so much fun, right? Lowering our feet down to the ground. Go ahead and kick that right leg up and over the top of your left thigh. Grabbing onto your left hamstring or the left shin. Option to rock side to side. Deep breath in. Lowering our hands to either side of our body, letting your hips drop to the left, finding a nice twist through your spine. When you're ready, we're coming back up into center. Unhook your right leg from your left, lifting your left, hooking it over your right. Grabbing onto the back of your right hamstring or your shin. Gently rocking it out. Sending our hands to either side of our body, gently letting your hips fall to the right. Still trying to keep both shoulders planted on the ground. Another deep breath in. We're rising back up into center. Unhooking our left leg from our right, bringing the soles of our feet together, slowly letting our knees fall to either side of our body. One hand over your heart, one hand over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to set our intentions for the rest of today. Letting go of any stress or tension that's been built up throughout the day. Bringing awareness to all four corners of our body. Might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. The rise and fall of your chest as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Taking that full body scan. What's sore? What's energized? What feels at peace? Where are you holding your stress? That brings us to the end of today's class. Congrats on fully making it through week 1 of this session. Hope you all had a wonderful time and you're not too sore over the weekend. I love any feedback any of you would be willing to provide, negative or positive. Promise I won't get butthurt. But with that, I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday.